first program for the year.
Right now, I woodland there below me and I can't chop down no woodland around me.
True why?
This man I make problem with me, Mutabaruka.
Eh?
Yes. The last time I do some chopping down Mutabaruka and the man called police by me.
Are your land?
Yes, Mutabaruka.
Are your land you chop down?
Round me.
No.
Woodland.
No, listen. You may ask. Listen to me now. Listen to me. The land where you chop down, are your land?
I'm a grandaunt land.
Are your grandaunt land?
Yes.
And he must stop you from chop it?
And he must stop you from chop it.
Why must stop you from chop it? Why?
Why?
No, why no why you chop it down?
You want to say that the woodland, the police are my friend, he say my police are friend.
Okay.
And call police by my waist in that time. But when him call police come. But when he call police
no come. Okay.
So the police are in a corruption.
So you're in a feud all the while, in a war all the while?
Well, in war over land, you know.
Where you war over?
Well, he's a peaceful person, Muta.
Yeah, but you see, if a one man can war, one man... All right, so what you going to do about it? Because I say him know why you chop down the land. What you going to do about it?
Well, I know the world full of corruption. That's all I mean.
No, I'm not asking that. Like how you want to chop the land and him know why you chop the land. What you going to do about it?
You got court office. Court office not tell us much.
You go away?
You got the court office and let them know. Them not much to say.
Yeah.
So they're in a corruption with him too.
So you're not about to chop down a piece of land then?
Well, me only try to clean up around my house in a motor.
Okay, well, that may ask you. Let me say just left a piece of land then. Or then yeah. So wait, you know, do you know just tell me say your family land?
Yeah, my grandaunt land, my mother has the land.
Where should they know? Where should they?
That's grandaunt death.
So are you have the title for the land?
Well,
no title no there. No title no there. All time people kind of think land part to land without title. And that you say?
Yeah, I'm your mother talk to you, because she want to talk to you. You hear, Muta?
Okay, all right.
Mother, come talk to Muta. Come on.
She don't want to talk my whole line at 2 o'clock a morning to talk on radio.
Come talk to Muta. Tell Muta what you have to do. Are you with it? Yes, Muta, good night.
Morning. I'm like, morning.
Yeah, man, sorry.
All right. Are your son that does talk to me?
Yeah, man, Jevon.
All right, him say my chop piece of land and a man no want him chop the land and him say a film family land.
Yeah.
A film family land?
My auntie land.
Your auntie land?
Auntie, me not even know her. She dead from before me born.
From Wappy King. All right. So you have title for the land?
Yes, me have a title.
Oh, you have title for the land? Eh?
Yes, no.
All right, then if you go down to the land place, man, you go to the land place and show them where you go on, not go to the police. Go to the land surveyor's place and show them, so watch, you have title for this piece of land, yeah? Yeah. And you go do some planting on the land, and this man, you go like a female and a white.
Banana plant on it, me have banana, me have things plant on it, and the man even walk through and chop down the gungo tree them with the pan there.
The man chop down your gungo tree?
Yes. And the police, then he said, me go to police. Him say, I got F up me and my son.
If you go to police?
You know?
If you go to police?
F me up. And one night we are come up through the shortcut, and you know what the man do?
Yeah.
The man run out in yard. Run out in yard and shine light in our Devon face, my son.
Yeah.
Shine, and when him shine the light now, him woman and pick me and come out with machete. Him and his son, the machete, to chop up Devon.
You serious?
Devon and call the police. Hold him and beg him to, because him have a bright piece of stick in his hand, you know, and he never know make them chop him. They would have chopped him, but he would have knocked out one of them. You know that.
So, how that start? How them things start? How long it go on? It
has gone from, me live here 26 years now.
And it go on from that time?
And lately, because he had some robbery behind my back, and him find out that me I start out the place.
He mean he might rob you? He might rob you?
The land, yeah.
He might take away your land?
Yes.
And you have the survey, you have the title?
The land where me supposed to have me right away to my yard. And at that, and then him and the police, them, the survey and everybody, he go on, he just have time money, he have one hand over, he send money come here, come pay up for people watch me. You know that? They can't go home freely.
Why?
People are watch me, they must set up phone to take me. If me say anything, it's like they want something to use against me.
No, but what them have to use, what you do for them use something against you?
Because we got survey the land, you just find out where we go and start out the whole of the land and sort it out. A long time I pay a penalty
So,
for the
so
land.
who are the member of parliament for your area?
This side, what name?
Darrell Vaz?
Darrell Vaz, they are Buff Bay side.
And him wife, the which part?
Port Anthony in.
So which part you there?
Long Bay, Portland.
So who responsible for over there, so?
Miss Vaz and where is man in
They no go at them office then. Go at them office. Go at them office. Go at them office. Go to them office.
Now, if me talk, me can't talk them and carry news to people.
No, but no, all right, done with that now. Done with that now. Me say, go at them office. Go to the office.
Yes, Muta.
Yes. Me I tell you to do that, you know. Go to the office and explain where you go on. And show them your title. And make them send people down there. You see, go to them office. Go to, what's your name? What's your name? What's Darrell Bar's wife name?
Anne-Marie.
Where you say, actually responsible for your area?
Yes, Muta.
All right, any one of them, go to the office with the title and explain to them what is happening and that you can't afford to go to no police because the police and that man is in cahoots. So just go to them, and if you take a week and call me back and make me hear what you say.
All right, now go do that.
Don't bother go like you're going to do it and don't do it, you know.
Now go do it, man. Now go
And don't bother go around the place and say, you've got Darrell Val, got complain.
No, man. No space, so.
All right. So just do that, and about 2 weeks' time, next week, you call me again and tell me what when you go to the office. All right?
All right, then.
All right. Yes, sir.
Yes, man. Thank you for that.
Yeah. This is first program for the year. First program, Cutting Edge. January. May I tell you, last year just gone and gone, so I'm glad that it gone, but it was good. I don't know if the next one, you know, is a wonderful year for me, I must say. Trust me. And the Cutting Edge is still here. Going now, going. Stepping Razor is several hours from now. We want to thank all the people who stay with me over the years and still there with me. What we are going to do now? You know the year, them say it's a different year. According to the calendar, it's a different year, but the time not different. The time not different, you know. I don't feel no different now than we were to feel 6 years ago. Or no, or 6 days ago, as a matter of fact. All the people them will jump up. Your condition 6 days ago and the conditions now is the same. And I guarantee you that most of the conditions 6 months from now will be the same. And when the politicians them start to go around the island again, the conditions that them have you in 5 years ago, your conditions will still be the same. So the question is, what are you going to do about your condition? What you're going to do about your condition? That is the thing. What changes you're willing to make in this time of struggle? What change you need to make, or what change you intend to make for you and your family? Because have to incorporate your family in it. All them man run up and down about the place like them are idiot. Them a farm full, and I talk about them a farm. Them farming full. What you going to do to help your child or your children and the mother? What are you going to do? Very important questions. These are the questions you must answer. Some man can't say him love a man because him start to think funny. Him start to think funny because him say, why am I brethren? Why am I love you, no my brethren? No, you can't hear that out of a certain man's mouth. They must say, what you talking about love? This love? Yes, that's how we talk about it. That's how we think about it. It's really a problem. Really a problem. Yeah, man, this word named love, man. Some people just use love to the opposite sex. But love is something where it's transcend. It transcends all different sex, all different things too. Animals, people, places and things. And all them look thinking we have to get out of our head. The language we use is a problem. Big problem. We have a language of violence. A language of violence. A man feels say, when him a dance with a woman and she put her head on the ground and her bottom up in the ear and him there behind her, that is love. Yeah, man. And him talk to her a certain way. Him say, why man, a man a beat a woman and you go in and she said, let him not, I love me, why am I going to say, you know? A man give a thump in her face, make she drop her ground. And she did that, tell her friends, I truly love me, why am I doing that, you know? That I don't love, sister. Wake up, man. Wake up. Where I work with. Where you can go to that? That's what them do it. I guess the whole of the hotel, them don't watch the book out. We go and say in Jamaica, the Prime Minister of Canada and them wife don't get celebrate. All of the stars, them don't get celebrate. And we go and say in Jamaica. But it's amazing, you know, that talk to some white people from, I think Canada, them come from here, Canada. And them say them a go Spanish Town Road, that's all. And they overhead. And hear some bully for music go on there, you know. The people them say them just go in at them car for them little fold-out chair and sit down there and have a party in the road there. But I tell you, and somebody never come to Jamaica yet, you know. First time I come to Jamaica. But them enjoy it. New Year's Eve night, yeah man. Jamaica, when I used to know about guess what? Some little youth from the place I create mischief as so we are going through now the places now where I say, the virgin I say, you know, the word love. Because love conjure up things where when you look on the reality, there's no love. But that is, man can't think about that too. But some part like me, I agree with him still. Love and hate, God and devil. If you believe in a God, you believe in a devil. If you believe in a devil, you believe in a God. It's just the same kind with two different parts. You throw up the kind head or tail. You throw up the kind God or the devil. Same kind. You can't have God without the devil. Because it's the opposite and we don't call it upless and downless or up and down. So when a man hear me talk about God in a certain way, and they say, well, Muta don't believe in a God and I him someday. He might feel where we are say. You know, see, you have to either where we are say because the word God is limited to a certain mindset. Just like what the Virgin said, love. It kind of limit to a certain mindset. Yet that is the expression where people use to express something that they want to express, which is good. So when I say God, your hope says good in my talk about. And when him say love, your hope says good in my talk about. Anyway, we want to play this. We want to play this. Make us see if you can play it.
What does school teach you about money? Nothing. And that's not a mistake. That's not an accident. The way to keep the poor and middle class working hard is never teach them what the rich know. What the rich teach their kids about money, the poor and middle class do not. If you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Rich Dad's lesson number 1, the rich don't work for money. Don't you touch that stuff. If I pay you, you think like an employee. Your brain will change. If you learn never to work for money, you'll be a rich man. The people that are being screwed today are the poor and middle class because they work for money. You know, the banker friends, they're not working for money.
They have money working for them.
Yeah, very big difference in mentality here. What is financial education? It's not get a job, work hard, save money, and invest in a well-diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs. That's not it. The financial industry is two things, debt and taxes. Debt and taxes. And we still tell kids to go to school, get a job, work hard, save money, and get out of debt. Now, who tells them to do that? That's the most ridiculous thing there is.
The book starts and says, line number 1, saving money will make you rich.
Yeah, it never will. You know that.
All taught that as kids.
Yeah, because they can print it. Why would you save it and why would you work for it if they can print it at faster than you can work for it? And number 2 is they keep dropping the interest rates on it. You know, Japan still has zero interest rate policy. And the Japanese are the biggest savers in the world. And I'm Japanese, I'm 4th generation. They're not too bright.
Right.
Why do you keep saving when they're printing it? You know, when I'm in Japan, that's what I mean by fear. They're so afraid because the Japanese, good culture, but they do as they're told.
Right. It's very conformist.
Very conformist, very conformist. So they just do as they're told, and then they just save money, and their government, this guy Abenomics, is just printing trillions of it and buying ETFs with it, and they don't know what to do. They're afraid they might make a mistake. They're good little students in school. Go to school, get a job, don't make mistakes. So what happens to the average person in a financial crash, they don't know what to do. And right now, as you know, for the middle class of the world, we're in a crash. The purchasing power of the yen, the euro, the rupiah, all going down. And people are working harder and harder and harder, and the central banks of the world are printing more money.
And so if someone's listening to us that's stuck in that poor middle class trap and they hear it's their fear that ultimately is keeping them from that, that's a hard thing to hear, Robert. But you're going to give them the information about what they can do if they can get out of that fear.
Well, every time I do a lot of speaking to the masses out there. Lehman doesn't invite me in because we're gone, but they go, well, what, it's so risky. What you're saying is risky. And I said, what I do isn't risky for me, but it's risky for you. And when somebody says, what is risk? You have to look in the mirror. Do you know what I mean? For me to fly in Vietnam, that was high risk. But the higher the risk, the more you have to study. You know that, I know that. So if you're not going to study, you're not going to practice and all that, then you should do what Wall Street tells you to do. Buy 401ks, mutual funds, ETFs and all that. But that's where they're fake assets, because they only make Wall Street or the City of London rich. Just watch where the cash is flowing. Follow the money. The reason the rich don't work for money is number one expense is tax. See, there's three kinds of income: earned, portfolio, passive. So earned income is if I get a job, that's earned income. If I'm a doctor or a programmer, that's earned income, because I'm working for it. If I buy, let's say, Apple for $10 and I sell it for $20, that's portfolio income, capital gains.
Yeah.
But passive income, which is cash flow, is never taxed. So it's not, and so these guys are screaming right now in America, tax the rich. I said, good luck. Because most of the guys complaining, they don't know there's three kinds of income. And the rich don't have jobs anyway. They have assets. And so the average schmo out there, a poor guy, sent the kid to school. They don't learn this. So that's why in fake, as you were talking about it, there's a newspaper article about Jared Kushner, and he explains how the Trumps and the Kushners don't pay taxes and make millions of dollars. And the reporter couldn't understand him because our schools will never teach you that three types of income.
And they judged him and say they're wrong and it's cheating. And we see it over and over again. Amazon not paying taxes. What do you say to people when they come up to you and say, Robert, it's not fair. It's not fair they're not paying taxes?
Well, there's always three sides to a coin, heads, tails, and the edge. So which side of the coin are you on? From my side, it's fair. But this is the difference. Everybody can do the same thing I do, because the tax laws are for everybody. We don't say, well, the tax laws are only for the rich. No, the tax laws are for everybody to use if you have the right financial education. And the reason I'm an advocate of financial education, without that education, you have to pay taxes. You see, very few people will buy what I do, make $1 million and pay zero tax. That takes, and my rich dad taught me that playing Monopoly. That's how it started, 4 greenhouses, 1 red hotel. Or the McDonald's formula. I write about it here. McDonald's, Ray Kroc.
Yeah.
McDonald's is in the real estate business. So they sell hamburgers, but they buy real estate, so they pay no taxes. This guy Bezos, well, he's $16 billion. How much tax do they pay on that $16 billion? Zero.
And that's all legal. Anyone can do it.
Everybody can do it.
Most people lack the education.
Correct.
So Jared learned about money when he was a kid by watching his father, by watching these people invest in real estate, and said, wow, not only do you get to make the money, you get to keep the money. That's a big problem a lot of people don't understand. They think, oh, look how much money I made, but how much did you keep? Because that could be half.
What tax did you pay?
Right, what tax did you pay? And so you always say, this is the law. The law is true for every citizen. You can do it, but most people just don't do it. Sometimes, like you said, they don't have the education, but you need to have a plan if you're going to go do risky things.
Well, it's not risky. I mean, to me, what's risky is having a job and paying taxes and saving money because they're printing it. That's the worst thing of all. And that's why there's fake money, fake teachers, because the teachers they don't know it.
Right.
And fake assets, because Wall Street or the City of London or Lehman Brothers or Goldman and all, they're not going to tell you this.
Yeah.
How are there billionaire bankers today? Aren't they supposed to be watching your money,
You said in here also, the greatest asset you have is your mind. What does that mean?
If you really want to be rich, take a class on real estate. Once you understand real estate is based on debt, learn how to use debt as money. So once you learn how to use debt as money, you can never say, I can't afford it. You see, because the banks will give you, so the banks, after the crash of 2008, the banks gave me $300 million tax-free to buy real estate that the idiots had lost. I hate this, and they were idiots because the prices were so high. Why would you buy it at the top of a market? Don't you know that's going to crash? No. This was, that was subprime was a derivatives market, MBSs and all that stuff. Had driven the price of real estate so high, and the rest of us were just waiting. And then when the whole thing came crashing down, all this real estate was now available, and they needed, the Fed and those guys in the Treasury needed guys like us to go in there. So Wall Street gave us hundreds of millions of dollars to mop up all that real estate these guys had lost. Now, it's fair because everybody could do it. So, when I asked the average guy, I said, why don't you use debt? They can't even get a loan. because their scores, their FICO scores, they don't even have them here, are so bad.
Right.
So that's what's going on in the world today. Is fake money, fake teachers, fake asses. The school teachers will never tell you that because they don't know it. My poor dad never knew that. And they think the rich are crooks. The rich just play by different laws. The rules are the same, but you have to do what the government wants you to do. Never say, I can't afford it. Ask yourself, how can I? The reason I have so much money is because I don't say I can't do it. I just go, how can I do it? And I just go and do it. I make a lot of mistakes, but that's how I learn. How can I? It's just a matter of personal willpower, which is spiritual. Just saying, if they can do it, I can do it.
And how can I?
How can I?
And I think it's you once said, words become flesh.
Yep.
Yes. When I listen to these little tidbits here, you know, because they're very important to the movement of your mind. Especially like how the year gone over there, so now it's a different year, you know. We have to really start to think a certain way, if you never did think that way there before. We are search, you know, we are search. And those who search themselves will find. You know, seek and you'll find. We are search. Some people believe that them reach a pinnacle, but no pinnacle no they have to reach, you know. The higher you climb is the more they have to climb, you know. And when you reach up at the top there, you think at the top you're there. But guess what? You have a valley there, so. And people are come up. So it's like a ladder you climb. Some people are at the bottom of the ladder, some people are at the middle, some people are at the top. But it's a ladder all the way I climb. Even in our mind, we are climb. Consciousness reveals itself through climbing. And we have to move. Can't be stagnant. Some people are looking for the old time religion. That never help, you know. That never help. We can't follow everything, so. You know, see, we have to use with sense. With sensibility is what must push we. Or we react and think about things now. Not things were gone 4,000, 3,000, 2,000 years ago. We have different ways to come to a conclusion about things now. And we can use the old-time way for rectifying new ideas and new thoughts and new thinking. Because we live in a different age. Yeah, man, we live in a different age. And even though we have ancient thinkers, we are ancient thinkers, but we have to be modern, we have a modern perspective. Yeah, we have to have a modern perspective with ancient thinking. So why not we're not giving up the ancient thinking, but we must know how to use a gas stove and an electric stove. Yet still we know within our back of our brain we have a wood stove mind in our thinking. I just so it go because some of them places you know, you can build a wood fire, obviously. And some of them days that you gas could have done and you can't cook by your wood fire, by your electric stove or your gas stove. So we have to struggle between the different raindrops and make sure the raindrops don't drop away, we just keep dry. And this right there. And we have to understand the dynamics there. We have to understand the dynamics. How we reach where we reach and where we're going. About old pirates, you know, our people believe say the younger slavery did go on across the Atlantic, and so you know say you have some whole heap of slavery go on in Europe, white people enslave white people, you know. As a matter of fact, we go to one slave dungeon in Austria. You'll never believe it. I don't know, black people didn't have them dungeon there, you know. White people, I enslave white people. But just the dungeon look away. When you go on and eat it, because it's down in the ground. Yeah, man, we walk go down in the ground, man, and we must see the dungeon, them ask brother, they'll tell me something. So, white people just do anything they want, do all to them own. Just like what they are doing in Ukraine now. Just like what they are doing in Ukraine now. The Russian and the Ukrainian people are fight. And the same people, them. And them used to do that with the French and the British. You know, and them all over the world. Them plunder and loot and shoot. And way down in Austria there, look at Hitler. Hitler was from Austria, you know. And he was democratically elected in Germany. It's not him take over a coup, you know. The people them of Germany elect him as prime minister or president. And look what him do. Look what him do. So it's not an easy set of mindset. Tell you, live your culture, it's a lifestyle, every day. I just say it go. Not today or Monday and tomorrow or Sunday. I just say it work. When I'm on Sunday this and Monday this. No, sir. 7 days a week, you live your culture. That's where Rastafari show I. Yes, we're going to go hide and dodge. And today, Monday, we look one day, we are going one seminar and one meeting. And then Saturday, we look like we're on a Rasta, we put up, relax and twist it up underneath and gone. And then Sunday, maybe we'll go to one organization where Rasta there. We're doing that. Straight up, straight up. No hiding in eye at all. No hiding in eye. The man say, live your culture. Man, about out bag of tricks that them have we now, you know. Yeah, man, that them have we now. Alright, so we don't know.
The informative information presented in this video is motivational and is positively aimed at inspiring, educating and entertaining the viewers with the cutting edge of critical reasoning. If you enjoy the contents on the Black Radar YouTube channel, please consider subscribing to show your support.